If you guys want to know how to keep your tummy flat for years after having a tummy tuck, then I want you to watch this video and stay tuned to the end to see my reveal so that you can see where I stand a little over 2 years after having my procedure done. When you dream, do you dream of me? I could be everything you need. When you dream. What's up, everyone? This is the Minister of Beauty, and thank you so much for joining me for this video. This is Beauty Wednesdays with the Minister of Beauty, and as you guys may or may not know, I had a tummy tuck done a few years ago, and it was something that I contemplated having done for many years. So I just wanted to share with you guys before we get into the tips and the ways to keep your tummy flat. I wanted to share a couple of quick reasons why someone may want to have a tummy tuck. Okay, a couple of quick reasons is having extra skin after having a baby or after losing weight, and changes in your lifestyle that you've lost weight, but that tummy area just seems to be a constant struggle. But the number one reason is to do it for yourself. It's one of the things that, like I said, I contemplated having done for many years. And when I finally decided to do it, I had, people saying, you don't need that. Why would you do that? And then people judge you based on what you look like with clothes on, because I'm not someone that would normally wear very revealing clothing. And because of the issues that I felt about myself, I would not go to a pool or to the beach without wearing a very, very modest cover up, because I didn't want anyone to judge me. I didn't want anyone to see what I looked like without those areas being covered. And I just got tired of doing that. And even though my body still isn't perfect, but no one's body is perfect, I just got to the point where I got tired of feeling like I had to do it, and I wanted to do something that was going to help me to feel a little bit better about myself. So I did it for me. I didn't do it to please anyone that I'm with. I didn't do it to please other people around me. I did it because I wanted to feel better about myself, and I was healthy enough to do it, because that's also something that you need to know. You need to be in a healthy state if that is something that you're considering doing, because if you're not healthy, you should know that for yourself. You shouldn't have to have a doctor tell you that you're not healthy enough to have that procedure. But of course, you would want to have a pre-screening and see a doctor just to make sure that everything that might be a contraindication to you having this procedure done is not going to be an issue for you. So make sure you have yourself checked out health-wise, and so that if this is something that you're going to move forward with, you don't have to second guess, or you don't have to put yourself in a compromising or dangerous situation, because at the end of it all, you really are the one that is responsible. Yes, we can claim medical malpractice with doctors and physicians, but honestly, medical malpractice is a very hard thing to prove. I was a legal assistant for 12 years. And that is one of the areas of law that we practice in when I was working in law firms many years ago. And medical malpractice, it's really not that cut and dry. So you really are the one that is responsible for knowing if you are a good candidate and if you are in proper health to have the procedure done. Yes, there's something called careless negligence, but it's hard to prove. So just make sure you're in a good state of health before you move forward with having any type of cosmetic procedure done. All right, so the first tip is to walk every day. Now, walking is something that is very simple to do. You can just start out with walking, because sometimes people just try to do too much too soon, and you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're pushing yourself. So make sure that when you start walking, you're starting out slow. You're starting out at a minimal amount. You don't want to go and, walk for hours. Just maybe start with a few minutes and doing it with comfortable clothing on when the weather is comfortable enough for you to bear walking outside. Because I also would recommend going out for a walk versus just doing it on a treadmill in a gym, or if you have a treadmill at home. Your short span recovery period is about 6 weeks, depending on your body. Everyone is so different, but 6 weeks minimal is the recovery period. So you want to start after your recovery period. So if you can, try to aim for 10 minutes of walking a day, 5 days a week. And listen, 10 minutes goes really fast. I mean, think about it. This video, I try to aim to keep it short and keep it sweet. But I mean, unfortunately, I doubt that this video is going to be 10 minutes or under. So I'm just saying 10 minutes goes by really fast. And you could walk your dog. Now, if you have a calm dog, don't have one of the types of dogs that my husband has. After having a tummy tuck and going to take your dog for a walk, because that might not be too smart. It could definitely cause some issues. But going for a walk for about 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week, gets you about 50 minutes of walking in, and that is going to really benefit you immensely. Oh, and also, if you can go out for a walk after dinner, that would be awesome as well. Now, try not to eat dinner too late, because that's another thing too. You don't want to eat too late, because when you are eating very late and then you're going to sleep, you're not giving your body the opportunity to move around and to exercise and to get that walk in. So try to not eat dinner too late, and if you can, take a walk after you have dinner. That is really going to benefit you, and you're going to see great results. Okay, so the next thing is protein load. Protein is going to help to repair your muscles from any tears, and it'll help to just release the body fat from your body. And protein also helps to keep you feeling full and help you feel full longer. So that's not going to have you eating those empty calories and just feeling that you have to continue to eat, when honestly your body is satisfied, but you're just feeling and craving more food. So protein load, that's definitely going to help you to keep that tummy area flat as well. And when I say repair tears in your muscles, I'm talking about from strength training, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. So just continue watching. All right, so the next thing is to eat fiber, ingest fiber. Eating foods with fiber also helps to make you feel full, and also aids in your digestion as well, which is going to be incredible for your tummy area and definitely necessary. But yeah, with the fiber aiding in your digestion, it is going to help to stabilize your blood sugar, which, ta-da, it's going to help your gut health. And if you've ever heard the phrase that your gut is it's like your brain, it really is important to take care of your gut health. So eating fiber, ingesting more fiber, it's really going to be amazing for your gut area. And then often, let's just be real, you often hear about cleansing and colonics and, those different types of things to help you to release the toxins from your body. Those things can be cool, but you don't want to have to do that stuff, very often. So you have to remember that your body was meant to expel the toxins, but sometimes we do things to trap them. The fiber is going to help to release it. It's going to help your body do its own natural cleansing and make you go, if you know what I mean. Try not to be too graphic, but you guys know we're all adults, hopefully, that are watching this video. But yeah, you have to know that fiber, it promotes regularity. We all have to go at some point, and it helps to reduce constipation. So if you are constipated, oh my God, you do not want to have to deal with that, especially after you've had a tummy tuck. And that's one of the things that they're going to tell you when you are preparing to go and have your procedure done. They recommend taking what's called stool softener. And that is just in the event you have not, drank enough water and your body is not regulated. They don't want you to have to strain yourself or push to release, you know what I mean, from your body after having a tummy tuck procedure done. So they're going to recommend that you take a stool softener. One of the things that I did recognize is that they don't really tell you how much water to drink, but you definitely should be drinking at least half your body weight in ounces of water. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking about 75 ounces of water. So that's also going to help you to go more often, not just number 2, but number 1 as well, because all of it's going to help to release toxins from your body. So having that fiber intake is going to really make that gut area, which is where, you know, the tummy is, a lot more flat, a lot longer, and help you to keep it healthy as well. So do what you got to do. And if you got to go number 2, then make sure you got that fiber in your system. All right, so the next thing is strength training. I'm not a huge fan of working out, but I do work out. And when I do work out, I love to use weights. Weights, it just makes me feel like I'm doing a lot more and I'm getting a whole lot more accomplished. And listen, I'm not even trying to be one of those bodybuilding chicks. Not knocking them, much respect to them, because it takes a lot of work to do that. But I don't have, you know, 2 to 4 hours to spend in the gym every day, and I'm not trying to get my body cut and chiseled and trying to do a bikini show or a bodybuilding show. I just want to be healthy, and I just want my tummy area that I've invested in to stay as flat as possible for as long as possible. So strength training is incredible for when you're working out, because one, when you're doing weights helps to have your body burn more fat even when you're resting. So even when you're not working out, that strength training, that weightlifting that you've done before, it's also helping to burn fat when you're not even working out. So just start where you are, don't go overboard, and you know, as you continue to do it, you'll get to the point where you can either do heavier weightlifting, or you can just do more reps of where you are with the current weights that you're comfortable using. All right, so the next thing is you have to eat healthy fats. Sometimes you gotta lose to win, and you gotta eat fat to lose fat, but that's healthy fats. So some of the healthy fats includes eggs, fatty fishes, avocados, and you know, certain types of nuts. Now, I'm a fan of, I do eat eggs, but my favorite healthy fats are avocados, and I like some pistachios and some walnuts and pecans. Those are my favorite types of nuts to consume. But if you're ever in the grocery store and you see those planners, you know, mini packs where they have the different varieties, and they have, you know, different types for either heart health and, you know, energy and different things like that, I just find that they have them chock full of peanuts. And I'm not a big fan of peanuts. I don't know, but I get it. They're the cheaper nuts, so they fill those little mini packs with the cheaper nuts first, and then you might get a couple of pistachios, maybe 1 or 2 pecan halves, and a few walnuts, you know, a few almonds. You know what I mean, guys. The more expensive nuts, they tend to hold back on those, and then they fill them up with peanuts. So try to make your own nut packs, and you can just get the different varieties, because I know they're a little bit more expensive when you just buy them from places like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, or, you know, whatever stores you guys go to in your area. But if you make your own packs, you wind up spending less money than if you were to buy the pre-made planners, packs, and, you know, whatever other brand names there are out there that make those packs. You can make your own. But I love avocados. I've become a really huge fan of those over the last 10 years. And honestly, guacamole gets a big diss sometimes because people think of it as something that's unhealthy. Yeah, you can consume too much of anything, but I mean, what is guacamole but avocados, some lime juice, a little lime juice, maybe a sprinkle of garlic seasoning, a little salt, you know, some chopped tomatoes, maybe a little onion. You may put a little jalapeno in there if you want a little spice to it, but that's all healthy stuff. So if you spread a little bit of that on some healthy crackers or healthy pita chips, like that is a really great healthy snack. So you really can't go wrong with guacamole. I love it. It's one of my favorites, so try it out. And I actually have a video somewhere on my YouTube channel where I made some guacamole, and I think my guacamole is the bomb. So you should check out that video and let me know what you think as well. All right, so the next thing is to limit your alcohol consumption. Now, I'm not judging, okay? I like a nice glass of bubbly or a nice margarita from time to time, but it's not something that I indulge in very often. And one, not just because of my waistline and having the tummy tuck and wanting to keep things on flat, but also just because I don't want to ever put myself in a position where I am just consuming too much of anything. And we all know where alcohol can take you. So it's just not something that I've ever consumed too much of, where I've been taken out of myself and I don't have control over what I do or who I am. So that's just, a little bit of a tangent, but it is, the truth. But alcohol definitely can expand your waistline and it can ruin your tummy tuck after results. Especially if you had not only the tummy tuck, but you also did have some liposuction as well, which I did not have. I didn't need liposuction. I just had the full tummy tuck. What will happen is your liver is going to process the alcohol first, and then the protein and the carbs and the fat, your body is going to store all of those as fat in your body. And then it's going to give your tummy and other areas that pudge that you invested in to get rid of in the first place. So you definitely do not want to have too much alcohol. You really need to watch your alcohol intake. The next thing is to limit stress. Okay, so now some of you may be saying, okay, wait a minute. You just said limit my alcohol consumption, and now you're telling me to limit my stress. Like, how do you expect me to do that? And I have to limit my alcohol intake too. All right, so let's just be honest. Alcohol does not eliminate your stress. It just takes your mind off of it for a while because you're focused on intaking that alcohol. You're focusing on whatever it does to make you feel good or, get right or, whatever phrases that you use, but it doesn't take away the stress. The things that were stressing you out are still going to be there. So that is not the way to go about it. You just have to find other ways to help to eliminate stress, not just manage it, because managing stress means that you're holding on to it. So I don't believe in stress management. I believe in stress elimination. And there are going to be things in your life that are not just going to go away, but you have to focus on things that are going to help to eliminate your stress. For example, I had my procedure done, and then about 6 or 7 months after I had my procedure done, I started going through some things professionally and also affected my life personally that was extremely devastating. And I'm still dealing with some of the after effects of those things. But for me, what I had to do was, because of the way that I lived my life and the beliefs that I had to take my things to God and just ask Jesus, help me through this, because I know that this is a temporary situation, but it doesn't feel good. I don't like the way that I feel. I don't like the way that things look. I don't know when this is going to be over. I know that there's, a test in this and there's going to be a blessing after it, but it doesn't feel good. So I had to do things and put myself in atmospheres and environments that were going to help to eliminate the stress. No, it didn't happen overnight, but I don't want to just manage it. I want to eliminate the stress. So you have to find ways to eliminate your stress. That's going to be different for everyone, because I'm not here or ever here to tell anyone how they need to operate their lives and how they need to manage situations that are going on in their personal or professional lives. But what I am here to say is that you have to find ways to limit the stress, because it definitely will affect your gut. Cortisol is something that increases in the gut area the more stress you have. And that's why a lot of not just women, but men have larger areas because of the cortisol that has increased in that area, and it causes the waistline to expand. So that's one of the reasons why stress can be extremely damaging and detrimental to those of you who have had or are considering having a tummy tuck. So you have to find ways to limit your stress. And we already just talked about the alcohol consumption. So you can't go there to, limit the stress. It may be tempting sometimes. And I'm not saying that you're not going to have a cocktail every now and then. But what I am saying is that you cannot use that as the means to limit the stress in your life, because it's just going to cause and wreak havoc on your abdominal area. So yeah, thankfully the stress that I have encountered, it did not destroy my waistline or my life. Like, praise God. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely had my moments of just light pudge here and there. But listen, guys, if you went through some of the things that I've gone through, you probably would have had a whole lot more than a few areas of pudge, because I just refuse to allow alcohol or cakes or pies or whatever else that's out there to try to make you take your mind off of your worries for the moment, to take over my life and consume those things to make me feel better, because feelings can fool you, and you really can't live in your feelings. You have to try your best not to operate in your feelings. So yeah, I'm thankful that it did not destroy my life and it did not destroy my waistline. All right, so the next thing is to make sleep a priority. Sleep is very, very important. And for those of you who are business owners or entrepreneurs like myself, you often have heard people like P. Diddy, or whatever he's calling himself these days. I don't know. I can't keep up and I'm not trying to. But you hear people like him and Steve Harvey saying, you can't sleep, don't sleep, blah, blah, blah. And they may be saying it as metaphors, or they may be even real about what they're saying. But in order to be successful, you really do have to sleep. And in order to take care of your body and allow your body to repair itself, it only repairs itself when it's resting, not when you're working. You have to make sleep a priority, because your body in that area, especially after you've had a tummy tuck, it's going to be healing for at least a year after you've had the procedure. Yes, they say it's about 6 weeks recovery period, but your body is still healing. So that is one of the things that you're going to have to do. And that's something that was very hard for me, but easy as well. And what I mean by that is that I've been so used to, as a business owner, I'm always on, always having to do stuff for my business. So there were many times where I would fall asleep, have my laptop desk and my laptop on my lap, sitting up in the bed, fell asleep while I was working, and that's not healthy. So when I had to start making some changes in my life so that I'm making sleep a priority, I had to learn to get those things away from me, prepare myself for sleep, not just, lying down and zonking out. Like, I had to prepare my body and my atmosphere for sleep. And I actually have a video on my channel where I talk about doing that. So if you want, you can check out that video. It's in my playlist somewhere. I think it might be on the life playlist for the channel. But once I got into the habit of preparing my atmosphere and my body for sleep, I wouldn't allow anyone to take that away from me anymore. So I look forward to going to sleep at a reasonable time and waking up early. I can get so much more accomplished when I wake up early in the morning. So making sleep a priority is going to be beneficial for your belly, and it's going to help you to continue to heal. And so your body is going to thank you if you do this. You really have to make sleep a priority. And so having a lot of alcohol and having a lot of stress, those things will actually keep you up. You may think that having a few cocktails is going to make you, fall asleep, but in actuality, you're actually not getting enough sleep. You more likely than not are going to wake up a few hours after you've fallen asleep, because you're going to have to go pee. And then if you're like me, if you wake up in the middle of the night, it's not easy for you to just drop back to sleep. So your body is up for a while, and then your rhythm of sleep is off. So making sleep a priority is definitely going to be something that you need to do to allow that belly area to relax, to eliminate the stress, and stay on flat for years to come. I had to learn this for myself, but you cannot stress over what you were not able to complete in the day, because we only have so many awake hours each day. And also getting a sufficient amount of sleep will also help you to prevent any binge eating. So again, that's going to prevent your waistline from expanding. So just try it out. All right, so the next thing is to work your core. Now, you can do abdominal exercises about a year after you've had the procedure done, because to be honest, you just have to still be so careful about how you're moving and how you're operating when it involves your core and your tummy, your waistline, all of that good stuff. You just have to be really careful. So doing those crunches and using those abdominal machines in the gym and, planks or whatever type of abdominal exercises that you're doing, you really need to be careful. So I waited about a good year before I really felt comfortable, and I started very lightly and very slow. But you can always be working your core. All right, and when I say you can always be working your core, what I mean by that is not working out your core, but engaging your core. So when you take a deep breath in, and that feeling you have when you take that deep breath in and then you release it, you exhale. And when you exhale, your body tends to relax, and then your core and all that, it tends to relax. And you girls and guys know what I mean by that. When you suck it in and you're trying to suck it in and hold it, so you can either slide on a pair of pants, or you don't want to have anyone see your bulge hanging out, so you're going to, suck it in. That's engaging your core. You can always be engaging your core, but breathing normally. So I want you to just try this. Breathe in and hold it for 5 seconds, and then release it. Okay, now I want you to breathe in, and I want you to breathe regularly out, but keep your abdominals engaged and keep them pulled in. Now, do you feel that? That's what I mean. You're keeping it pulled in, but you're breathing regularly. This is going to be something that you're going to need to do, because it's going to strengthen your core. You need to practice holding your core muscles and not just allowing them to be relaxed and just, kind of hanging out there. And honestly, this is a practice that I've had for many, many years. It's just something that I've learned to do when I notice myself slouching and I sit myself back up, engaging my core when I'm doing that. And also that's one of the reasons why when I went in for my consultation and the surgeon did the measurements and he was just checking everything, he said, you have a very strong core. You don't have any real fat in that area, but you do have a lot of excess skin. And so a tummy tuck or abdominoplasty would do you really well, but I would do a full abdominoplasty on you because of how the skin is and for the amount of stretch marks that, I had, and I still have them, but I just don't have as many as I did before because of all of the excess skin that was cut away. Having that core engaged for the years that I've been doing it, it really helped to strengthen my core muscles, because I really don't do a lot of abdominal workouts. Every now and then I will do the machines at the gym, or every once in a while I may do some crunches or, some things like that. But I honestly don't even really like doing ab specific workouts. I tend to do more of the deadlifts and, doing the kettlebells and doing the weights. All of that, stuff, it's going to help to work out the core area anyway. So just doing those specific abdominal workouts, I tend to not really care for those, so I don't really do those very often. One thing you can use to help you is to wear a garment that's going to be comfortable and that's going to hold things comfortably tight. You don't want to wear something that's going to be sucking and squeezing in your ribs and, very uncomfortable when you stand up or sit down. The garment that I use, I'll have a link to that in the description box, because it was very comfortable. It still is. I would, still wear it from time to time, but I don't really wear it as much as I used to wear it. But it's definitely something that's going to help you, especially if you need a little bit more help in engaging your core area. Alrighty, so it now is time for the reveal. So let's just get into this. Alright, so here are my results. It's been a few years since I had my procedure done, and things are still tight and right. I think I'm pretty pleased with my overall results. Again, like I said, guys, I still have stretch marks. Like, look, our one and only child, he screwed me up for life. So I have stretch marks, but I don't have them where I used to have them, because the stretch marks used to go up here all the way down. So what they did was they cut away that excess skin and they pulled down and lifted up to meet in this area, created a new little belly button. My belly button is still a little dark. I could get it lightened up if I wanted to, but I just really haven't cared that much about that to do anything about it. But you know, if I choose to do something later, I could just use some creams that are going to help to lighten that up overall. I'm going to show you the scar. And guys, I did have surgery again, not another tummy tuck, but actually last February, I had to have surgery to have some fibroid tumors removed, and I had a tummy tuck at the same time. So you guys are also going to see my scar from that as well. So this is the scar from when I had the surgery last year to have the fibroids removed and have the tubes tied. So that area is a little darker because of that surgery that I just had last year. But this is the abdominoplasty scar, and it's lightened up significantly over time because it was much darker after I had the procedure done, up to about 1.5 years. But you can still see the scar there a little bit. As you can see, guys, I still have stretch marks, but I'm happy with it because it's not as much and as prominent as it was when I went in to have it done. So again, this area is a little bit darker because of the surgery that I had last year that was not in conjunction with the tummy tuck. This was for the fibroid tumors and to have the tubal ligation, which is to have the tubes tied. So I'm never having any more kids. My husband may get some more dogs, but that's about it. But no more babies. But I'm pretty pleased with the results, guys. I would love to know. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. I would love to know what you guys think about it. Again, like I said, I'm pretty pleased with it because everything, the scar is still pretty low. So, you know, I can wear, if I want to, some certain bikinis and I wouldn't feel, you know, any way about it. But I was never comfortable wearing something like this before because of the extra skin. I already had a pretty strong core area, so that's one of the reasons why the extra skin didn't look as prominent to you guys as it really was, because when you have a really strong core area, it can kind of lift that skin a little bit, but when the surgeon, you know, pulled that skin and gripped it, there was a lot of extra skin there. So that's one of the reasons why it really didn't look as bad as some of you have said, as it really was. But I'm grateful all in all that I went forward with it and I had the experience done. I did not have any complications after the fact, thank God, because I was, you know, nervous about that too. Even if you're healthy, you never really know what can happen, and that's just with anyone. So it's been a really great couple of years for me with this procedure, and I'm glad that I was able to share it with you guys. I am also happy about this, and what it is I'm getting the feeling back in this area because, you know, I'll just show you again really quick. One of the possible complications, they call it, is having numbness in the abdominal area where the skin was cut. So for some time, definitely well over 1 year, I would touch, and I knew I was touching like I'm touching now, but there was no feeling. And there was like this deep itch where it would just feel like it was itching, but I could scratch, but it didn't feel like it was doing any good. And it was a bit annoying. It was a little bit undescribable. I'm trying to describe it to you as much as I possibly can, but it was pretty like, oh my God, like, God, when is this going to be over? But thankfully, I'm starting to get the feeling back in the majority of that area. There are a few little areas where I might touch it and it's a little bit numb, but it's nothing like it was after the procedure, because I was a little bit nervous about that. And they did say that you may get your feeling back, you may get some of it back, you may not get the feeling back at all. It's just one of those things where they cannot guarantee. And thankfully, I'm getting the feeling back. So if you do have the procedure done and you don't have the feeling there, give it some time. I would suggest praying over it. Not trying to be funny, but just being honest. I would suggest praying over it and just being careful with it. And just because you don't have any feeling doesn't mean that you should be rough with the area, because you can cause some tears or, you know, some bruising to the area if you're being rough with it or you're scratching really hard. So I don't suggest scratching with your nails. I suggest rubbing. So that's what I did. I would rub the area and not scratch it with my nails, because I just still wanted to be gentle with the area even though I didn't have the feeling. So you still just need to be gentle and careful with those areas even if you don't have feeling when you have the procedure done. So that's about it for this video, guys. I hope I shared enough. If there are any other questions or comments, please leave it for me in the comment section. I will definitely answer your questions as much as I possibly can, or any suggestions or any other tips that you would like. I could, you know, answer those questions in the comment section, or I can try to make another video if you would like me to. If there is anything specific that I did not cover, I will be happy to try to do that for you guys. So guys, this is Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, here to share the Bible. That's business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment, or entertainment sometimes. And until the next video, I hope you all have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.